Based on the testimony of the case, everything that came out, we have a lot of discretion in our office, and even though Mr. Caballero did, pursuant to the Florida legislature, warrant the 15 years, our office had discretion. We felt that 2.5 years was something that not only held him accountable, but also reflected his past history as well.
That's what they offered him pre-trial, that he had turned down, so we're grateful about that. Do I believe personally that 2.5 years is something that he should have to do? The answer is no. But I was caught in a rock and a hard place. If I rejected that, then he was back to the exposure of the 15 years. I don't believe that his sex offender designation is applicable to what he's charged with or what he's convicted of. I just don't. I think it's horrifically unfair.
You think someone that's been to prison, he comes out, supposed to be, on your best behavior, not committing any, new crimes, and now he's out there on the beach, and, his attitude came to the forefront, and, he's reflecting upon that now. I can definitely see, regret, maybe a point where he's reflecting back upon where he maybe wish he could have went back to that day, but I think that that's a lot of, people when they have 20/20 hindsight, they wish they could go back and maybe change the way things are. But in the criminal justice system, there's accountability for your actions, especially when those actions are criminal, especially when those actions are in front of children.
There was testimony from a child, hearsay testimony about a child in the case. The statute, the way I interpreted it, said that there had to be a hearing. We had to determine whether the statements made by the child were, in fact, credible. And the court rejected my request, and I believe that the statute required him to do that. I think that issue is an issue that the appellate court hopefully is going to look at, as well as the sex offender status, as well as the intent status. The court would overturn the verdict, and it would come back, and then we get to see everybody again. Maybe. But